here to interact live and direct. And on this episode, we are filming from the garage here at Top King Service Center that is along Kiambu Road. And today we have a very interesting show lined up for you. We have two amazing guests. One of them mnamjua na mwingine hammujui, but he's going to give some insights about something that you guys might not know or you might not know about servicing your vehicle. But before then, we start with the highlights of the week. And if you're not new to Konnekt Live, this is how we do. We give highlights, then tuende kwa salamu, and kwa salamu utuambie where you're watching us from. Well, highlights of the week. Next Wednesday, we are having our very first recording with a live audience. And you can be part of that live audience. I have pinned a message pale kwa link. You una click your link and you register. Remember, entry is free. So next Wednesday, we are recording Konnekt Live with a live audience. And we are going to be filming live and direct from Top King Service Center. Remember, here you will be able to interact with the team directly. Na pia unaweza kuuliza maswali directly. And remember, the entry is on first come, first serve basis. Guests are supposed to be seated by 8 p.m. Not actually 8. You're supposed to be seated by 7:30. Then we go live at 8 p.m. Yeah, and we only need about 30 guests. So the faster you register, the better. And once you register, our team is going to call you and they are going to give you more details about that day. Also, during that day, if you come with your car, Top King Service Center is going to offer you some discounts and some incentives on maybe a car wash or even wheel alignment, vitu mzuri mzuri. And the theme for this particular live recording is beat the traffic. Usikae kwa jam, kuja hapa to record live, alafu after barabara zimeclear, tuende nyumbani, si ndio? The topic of the day will be inside the car theft ring. We are going to have somebody who has had a car stolen. We're going to have Dan from Skika Road Safety here. We're going to have a few other guests. One of them is a car dealer. The other one is a renowned, is a person who understands the market very well. And we're going to have like about 4 guests. Nitawaambia sasa kumwaga mtama mapema hivi. Sawa sawa. And the other thing, coming Saturday, Mad for Fun is going down at Tilisi. And guess what? Auto Konnekt has 10 tickets to give to 10 Auto Konnekt fans. And remember, Mad for Fun is happening this Saturday and Sunday. Na ukitaka ticket, nitauliza swali, ndio uweze kujinyakulia ticket yako. Niko na tickets 10 hapa that we will be giving out to some of our avid fans because you know what? We appreciate you. Sawa, wacha tuende hapa kwa salamu and see who is watching us. Watu wako wapi? We have Benson Ondota is here. We have Muriuki Marigi is here. Muriuki sijui kama alipata Land Rover. We also have Josh Homan. Welcome, Josh. Francis Kamau, ako live. Ayami Media, happy to be here. Collins Tongoch. Edwin Birech watching from Narok. Stanley Omondi, kama kawaida from Kisumu City. Jose Nderi is watching from Dadaab, Garissa. Watu wako wapi? Francis Ndiritu wako pale. Kevin Moturi is watching us live from Embu. We have Bre the orthopod. Hey. Watching from Kenyatta Road, kwa Maua. Asante sana jeshi ya Kenyatta Road. We also have Raymond from Phoenix, Arizona. Welcome, Raymond. We have Sky Gold from Ruiru. David Kamau, Maina. We have Chesira watching from Kabarnet, Baringo. Salimia sana watu pale Kabarnet, pale kwa mlima. It's a very beautiful place. We should do a trip there one of these fine days. We are going to give you more details on it. We have Liban Abdi present from Lodwar. Liban Abdi, hii story ya Liban bus kunaenda aje bana? You can shed more light hapo kwa comment section. David Kamau from Githunguri. Marigi anasema Land Rover ilipatikana, a great build on the lineup. Asante sana. So I think we can start off. So this is how we are going to segment this particular live episode. We are going to start with a Q&A where we'll get to answer your questions directly. And then we are going to be joined by Ian from Top King Service Center. He's going to disclose a few things he has noted over the time that they have been in business here along Kiambu Road. It seems kuna wasee wengi sana, they bring in their cars not knowing that they have existing problems. And then we are going to wrap up with Tom from Grande Motor Imports. Na kama watch video ya jana, not video Monday, we imported a very clean Honda Vezel and we drove it to Nairobi. We did an awesome video. So if you have not watched that video, check it out in the channel. And we got a very intriguing fuel economy figure from the Honda Vezel hybrid. And guess what? Kesho watu wa Mombasa tuko area. Yes, we are ready. You know, tumevaa hata kinyasa. We are ready to get into the coastal town again to collect one of the other vehicles that has been imported through the Konnekt Grande Motor Imports partnership. So tuanze hapa na Q&A. I can see Eric and Tom, I'm a current client of your work. Na amecheza na super chat pale. Thank you so much. Chief Kenyu anasema upcoming Gen Z. MCA niko kwa building, karibu sana. We have Obare Momanyi saying happy to see you Wakabi, watching you from the USA. Asante sana. Thank you so much for keeping Konnekt international. Okay, I've not seen our Ugandan friends today. I wonder where they have been, but I'm sure labda internet inasumbua kidogo. Lakini najua it's going to come back. So Pinjeru has also ameanza kuweka live super chat pale. So thank you so much Pinjeru. So let's start with Christian Fazal is also there. Let's start with a question from Francis Dirito who is asking about Mazda Bongo pros and cons. So the Mazda Bongo was one of the workhorses that has been celebrated in the Kenyan car market. Now, my personal experience with the Bongo is that the Bongo is actually a very nice vehicle. It's fairly reliable, comes in petrol and diesel. The petrol ones are not bad. They are very easy in terms of maintenance, but their fuel economy sometimes can be quite alarming, especially if you get a four-wheel drive one. I once drove one from Mombasa and the fuel economy was around 8 kilometers to the liter. Yeah, so, but generally it's a good car if you get it in diesel. Sometimes the turbo normally brings up a few issues, but I've seen guys from Kabarnet, where Chesire is watching us from. Chesire nimeona magari, most Mazda Bongos hapo Transvalley, wakitoa ile turbo yake ya kawaida and they swap in a turbocharger from a 2KD engine and they tend to work very well. And one thing about where these Mazda Bongos and Vanettes, they are the same car, operate, the ones that are around Kabarnet, zinapanda milima zikiwa zimebeba sana. So I think that is enough to try and test a vehicle. Haya, tuendelee. Liban Abdi is saying, Liban Bus ni business imeingia hii route na inafanya competition kupata joto. Scania mambo bad. Scania 360, moto wa kuotea mbali. Moses Orina is saying, always great to tune in. Eric, ulisema shida za BMW X1 2011 to 2014 ni nini haswa? Well, Moses, I think the BMWs, once they get older, in fact, if you're buying 2011 to 2014, most of these are locally used. So you have to perform a very deep diagnosis of this car, of the car. You know, if the car is okay, it's a very fun car to drive. But if something has gone wrong, then it gets terribly wrong. But they are generally good cars. They are fun to drive. Most problems will actually come about the electronics. They'll involve the electrical parts of the vehicles, because you'll find that if out of 10 BMWs that have a problem, 9 of them, the problem will be related to the electricals. And very soon we are going to roll out something, especially that will go very handy or that will be of great assistance to BMW owners and Jaguar Land Rover owners. So that's in the works. So keep it auto connect. Niambia this time tunawasort and we are going international. Sawa? So wasewa BMW msijali, there is a series that we are rolling out with some of the best BMW technicians in the world, not in Kenya, in the world, and it's going to address some of these issues to make sure that, again, we always say that Auto Connect is not about fear mongering, it's about creating lasting solutions in your car ownership journey. Sawa sawa, tuendelee. We have Jose Nderi saying, hi Eric, does overfilling the fuel tank that is after the click goes have a negative effect on the car fuel system in the long run? Jose Nderi, that depends on whether the car is modern or ancient. With some modern cars, it can actually have problems, but gari za kitambo, you will have little or no problems. It all depends on the design of the fuel tank and where the valves are. And also where, you know, there are some cars, like the older generation Mazda Demio, if you overfill it, it will actually, petrol will start pouring out from the overflow pipe. And also the Mazda 323s were like that. I've owned one. So ukijaza ipite inaanzanga kumwagika chini. So yeah, there are some cars that will do that. Some will have problems if you fill them. Others will not have problems. So it will depend on which particular car. Tuendelee na hizi maswali. Sky Gold is saying, I'm on a dilemma to choose between the LC300 and the LX600. Kindly guide me through. Now, the LC300 and the LX600 are basically the same car. They are built on the same platform. They will have the same engines powering them on. They'll have almost the same drivetrain. But the difference comes in, Lexus is the luxury wing of Toyota. And so you'll find that the LX600 is more of a luxury version of the LC300. So it's only, they are more or less the same thing, only that one is more luxurious. In fact, it's extremely luxurious, the LX600. And one thing about the LX600 is that the deal breaker should not be which one to get. The deal breaker should be where your budget lies. But if your budget can, well, go for the LX600. It's very comfortable. It brings out, you know, most of the time when you're getting a luxury vehicle, they'll normally sacrifice reliability for luxury if you look at most luxury brands. But the LX600 combines the two. Extreme reliability that has been blended together with extreme luxury. So budget ndio itasema utaenda wapi. But the LC300, it's a nice car. It's really solid. It lives up to the Land Cruiser legacy of reliability. But now you get that plus luxury, added luxury in the Lexus. Sawa, tuendelee. Mad for Fun Challenge, tunaona wamesema wanasema ni tops. Na Mad for Fun Challenge wanatupatia tickets 10. Mad for Fun 4.0 is happening this weekend at Tilisi. So kama unataka kwenda kuona gari zikipiga matope huko, hata kama unataka kuingia huko. By the way, most of the 4x4 challenges we have in Kenya are not friendly to normal cars, ama to daily drive cars. You will have to mod your vehicle for it to take part. But the unique thing about Mad for Fun is that there is something for everyone, including you with a daily drive crossover SUV. Yes, the likes of akina Subaru Forester, kutakuwa na beginner stage, na pia kutakuwa na a drift zone for you to have fun and get your car dirty. For you and for you guys with the proper off-roading rigs, we have the intermediate stages and the expert stages. So whether you have a Unimog or you have an Audi Q5, there is something for everyone at Mad for Fun 4.0. So I have 10 tickets to give out to some clients, not some fans of Konnekt Live who are going to answer the questions that I'm going to ask correctly. And leo naweza patiana 3, kesho nipatiane zingine 3 on my social media platforms, and on Friday I'm going to be on site to do a recce there. So I can also give 3 other tickets on Friday. So keep it Auto Connect and make sure you watch Mad for Fun 4.0 because it's all about the fun. And not forgetting, Mad for Fun is the only off-road event that boasts of an impeccable safety reputation. Yes, they have a safety brief before every event. And guess what? I'll also be doing live commentary at Mad for Fun 4.0. So tuendelee. After Mad for Fun, Chief Kenywa is saying, nataka gari ya campaign, bora iko na sunroof. I'm thinking of a Harrier 240G as iko na sunroof. Or what do you have any suggestions for 1.3 to 1.6? Harrier 240G, quite reliable. But the question should be, where will your campaigns be taking place? Because with campaigns, you need a car that can stand abuse. Kugongwa na mawe, kukanyagwa juu, kuendeshwa vibaya. So it depends. So kampeni yako itakuwa inapelekwa wapi? Unajua kuna mahali utapeleka hata Benz campaign na kuna mahali you will need a proper Land Cruiser. So yes, maybe you can tell us more on where you intend to, do your campaigns. We have John Kango Singh from Roiro. Amesema nimeona watu wakireinforce chassis ya the new trucks like the FRR through welding. Is it wise? Alafu tuletee review ya these Chinese trucks. John, tayari pale kwa social media, I have done a brief review. I have like 3 reels on the new Sinotrack H3. It's quite interesting. About reinforcing the chassis, if you see somebody reinforcing the chassis of a truck, chances are that they overload the truck. Tuendelee. We have, who else? Agri Ozengo is saying, kindly talk about the reliability of the Toyota Avensis. Agri, the Toyota Avensis comes in several generations, so it will be good to denote which particular one. And to make it easier, we can do it using the year of manufacture. That will make it easier. Also, whether we are talking about the Avensis with the D4 petrol engine or with the diesel engine. I love the ones with the diesel engine because they have crazy torque and most of them come in manual transmission. So give me more details, Pale. Cyrus Kibe is saying Pajero V46 for M40. Is it a good buy for a first-time car buyer? Cyrus Kibe, we had another viewer of ours here who had a Pajero with the 4M40 and the reputation, the feedback was not very good. However, Pajeros are not bad. In fact, they are very capable off-roaders, only that they require a little bit more of care, especially the 4M40 engine and the 4M41. They have been, they are not like the 4D56s. You know, the 4D56s were bulletproof engines if well taken care of. But 4M40 and 4M41 are a bit delicate. You have to keep on adjusting the valve train ndio isianze kutoa makelele, the funny noises from the engine. But also you have to be very meticulous on servicing these vehicles. Na leo mkiona nikiangalia kando, kuna mtu anaitwa Andy na mtu mwingine anaitwa Chris. Wameniwekea mataa hapa na wameweka kamera kwa giza. So hata sioni. Sasa na ujue Andy ni mweusi, labda acheke nione meno. Ndio nione mahali kamera iko. We have, who else is here? Chesire is saying, just looking for the best economical, reliable, dependable hybrid model car. Chesire, now let me start by telling you that if you import a Toyota hybrid through Auto Connect and Grand Motor Imports, we give you a 1 year, 4 months warranty. And if you're planning on getting a hybrid car, get either a Toyota or a Honda. You cannot go wrong with these 2 vehicles. Tuko pamoja hadi hapo? Aya, wacha tuendelee. We have Sky Gold saying, kudos man, this is the reason I keep it Auto Connect. Thanks, well answered. Thank you so much, Sky Gold. Kevin Motuku is saying, hi Eric, help me choose between a Toyota Ipsum and a Toyota Wish in terms of reliability and fuel economy. Now, if you're talking about the Ipsums will generally have bigger engines. So if you're looking at fuel economy, I think the Wish will be the ultimate bet. Also, always get a car that most of the time is a bit more common, especially if it's for commercial purposes. Sawa sawa. Sorry about that. We have Ngugi James. Hello, Eric. Why is it that Mark X GRX 120 seem to be more than GRX 130? Again, we miss your reviews with okay. Yeah. So Ngugi James, the GRX 120s are cheap. And not that they are more than the GRX 130s. The 120s are there is a theory that is called the red car theory. So na andi ukikaka unacheka ndio nione mahali kamera iko. So it's only that if you're thinking of a particular car, you will tend to see it more often. So it doesn't necessarily mean that there are more GRX 120s than GRX 130s. So Team MK is here. David Kamau Maina, can you swap Isuzu 4JJ3 TCX 3.0 in the Defender 110? Hiyo engine unaweza pata na pesa ngapi hivi? 4JJ3 TCX, very reliable engine, has amazing torque, and you know one thing with the Isuzu engines is that you will rarely have problems with the fuel injection system. Isuzu just perfected that, especially if you're buying them locally, the tropicalized ones. Well, about swapping it into a Land Rover, it is very possible. No swap is no swap is limited, especially with the vehicles that have a body on frame design. The ones that don't have a monocoque chassis, it's almost you can do quite a lot with engine swaps as long as the vehicle has a body on frame setup. Now, the key factor will be how the wiring is done, because these modern diesel engines have very complicated wiring systems. So you have to get a very good wiring person. You have to get somebody who is very good with fabrication, because with the Land Rovers, you will have to shift the mountings kidogo. And also you have to create room for the radiators. If you look at an Isuzu D-Max and you look at a Land Rover 110, you'll notice that the 110 has a shorter nose. So you have to perform your measurements. It's actually the best example of measure twice, cut once. Yeah, so you have to get the best measurements, shift the mountings correctly, and make sure you have enough room for the radiator so that you prevent overheating. Tuendelee. Brebre Orthopod anasema, hey Rico, I want to acquire a Touareg. What is the most common engine problem that I may anticipate? It depends on whether you're getting a petrol Touareg or a diesel Touareg. The Multiverse Talk is saying, first time car buyer, what would you recommend? Either a Golf or Impreza? Which specific model of these two? Point A to point D, looking for reliability, fuel economy, and ease of maintenance. Impreza or Golf? Personally, I would go for Golf, because the Impreza is a bit thirsty. These days, we have so many technicians who have familiarized themselves and grasped the art of maintaining VWs. In fact, today, we can comfortably say that VWs, especially the Golfs and the Passats, they are the Toyotas of European vehicles. They might be a bit complicated, and there is normally the notion that they are more expensive to maintain compared to the Japanese cars. But if you're putting it hand in hand with the Subaru Imprezas have, actually Subarus, their parts are also quite pricey. In fact, you might realize that the cost of keeping both vehicles on the road is almost similar. Now, the Golf has several advantages, especially on performance and fuel economy. So, personally, I feel that, but now the good thing about the Impreza is that the Impreza can handle abuse. So, those are some of the points or the take-homes that you should have to consider before settling for any of the two. Now, with the Golf, definitely, utajienjoy na haita. Subarus generally they don't have good fuel economy, and that is something all Subaru owners can attest. Unajua wanasemanga Subaru owners hawapendi kujionyeshana, hawapendi kusema wako na Subaru. Tuendelee. So yeah, is asking, hey Eric, quick question on security. We know, for example, the last best Toyota Fielder was a 208 and it's left room. Is it possible to go for an aftermarket ECU paired with an immobilizer as an anti-theft strategy. Uh, Toyotas and aftermarket ECUs, well, we don't have a lot of support for that. But I believe, uh, actually, this is one of the reasons why you should be part of our audience next week, our live audience next week, because when it comes to car theft, Gary, nobody just walks around looking for a car to steal. There must be a history, or there must be something that they are looking for before they can actually steal the car. So next week, if by the link, I've pinned the link on this chat, so you can have the link, register, come, let's talk about car theft next week. And we are not only going to talk about car theft with the people who are going to be here. It's going to be a live broadcast. It's going to be very, very, very insightful. We are going to talk about security. We're going to talk about what do you do if your car is stolen. We are going to talk about the cars that are prone to theft. You know, these days it's not only Toyotas that are stolen. We are having Mazdas being stolen. We are having Subarus being stolen. In fact, recently I saw a Subaru Forester that had been stolen on the Sikika Road Safety YouTube page, not Facebook page, yeah. So next week's episode might actually be very good for you. His name is it's going to be a very, 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 very insightful episode for you. So you can come in live or you can watch from the comfort of your home. But you know what? For those of you in Nairobi, the theme of this particular episode is beat the traffic. Usikae kwa jam. Kuja hapa Thindigwa, tupige show, alafu baadaye tuende home. Na nimesema Top King Service Center wanapatiana some incentives when you come for the Konnekt live recording next Wednesday. That will be the 20th of August 2025. Guests should be seated by 7:30 p.m. Eugene, okay, Gidi Anton is saying, hi Rico, share your thoughts on the new model 2020 Honda EV Insight compared to the Mazda 3. Can you please do a review of the same? Well, we can arrange for that, but one thing I'll tell you is that Honda does not go wrong with their hybrid systems, and Mazda has achieved Mazda has achieved the art of being a driver's vehicle. So if you want to enjoy maximum performance or even maximum thrill of driving, go the Honda direction. No, go the Mazda direction. If you want fuel economy or or you want basically to not leave a carbon footprint, you can go the Honda direction. Eugene was senior is saying, hey Eric, does the PF delete and junction pipe change the Mazda CX-5 solve all the issues of clogging? This car is able to balance both town and town service journeys, and should reliability be assured? Eugene, I think in this day and age, you should not be worried to buy a diesel CX-5, because as long as you drive that car once in a while, the DPF delete is only a solution when the DPF starts clogging. And from 2017, you do not have to change the junction pipe because all that has been improved. Simon Mwema Peter is watching from Mombasa. Simon is our clearing agent Pale Mombasa, and he's doing an amazing job clearing your units. So as I proceed with this question, I would like to have our first guest on set, and that is Ian from Top King Service Center. And we're going to have a very interesting discussion, especially on people bringing in cars for service and not realizing that these vehicles actually have problems. Yes, Nikama, but I've never understood why. Maybe Ian is going to tell us. You see, when you do not have symptoms of an illness na hujaenda hospitali, unatembea tu we uko sawa. But the moment you visit a doctor and they tell you, by the way, bro, uko na condition flani, that is when the symptoms erupt. So I think it's the same with cars. You drive around with a major issue, then by the time you bring it to the service center and you're told what is wrong, gari hata haifiki nyumbani. So maybe we can have Ian on the set. Ian on the set in a minute. On the set, I'm going to continue answering the questions here.
Yeah, I just spent a couple bands eating good on a dish. They don't say congratulations, but you know they watch that shit. I ain't even gonna get mad. I'm young, black and rich. Yeah, cause he don't miss. I don't give my energy to nobody except my clique.
Tuende? Sawa. So now I have a gentleman by the name of Ian. Niaje?
Poa sana Eriko.
Karibu sana.
Asante sana. Karibu Top King pia.
Asante. Thank you so much for the invite. You guys have a nice place here.
Thank you. Ni kujaribu, but we are trying to get the garage to be modern, to make it easier for our customers to interact with us and see what we are doing and working on their vehicles.
Okay, so now I've told you guys that for those of you who are going to register to come for the live recording next week, and by the way, the link is up there. I've pinned the post. You can register on that. Entry is free. I would like Ian, mimi sitaki maneno itoke kwangu. Hebu ambi utawapatia nini wenye watakuja na gari?
Sasa, for those who will come, want you to experience the first one-of-a-kind touchless automatic car wash in the country. For those who are very particular on their paint, this is the place to be, this is the car wash to come. And aside from the car wash, that is not even the main dish. Main dish iko hapa garage. You come in, get a free inspection. I've heard you say that sometimes you are sick and you don't know you are sick.
Yes.
So this is the place to come. We'll be offering free inspections and diagnostics for you to have your car checked. We'll be checking your tires, your suspension, your battery, your plugs, the condition of your oil, and be able to advise accordingly. Because you find for most car owners, when the car is running well, for new car buyers, bora gari inasonga, yeye anasema no need to go see a mechanic, no need to go to a garage, no need to have the car checked. But on 20th, come one, come all, experience, let us give you the free inspection, the free diagnostics, and have your car checked.
And washed.
And washed.
Unajua kuna watu wengi wanaosha magari na gunia.
Mambo ya kuosha gari na gunia tumeacha, na sijui vitambaa na sijui touchless. Protect your paint, and the products we're using are very premium. They also leave your car shining, waxed. So you'll experience something different.
Okay, so now Ian, niko na swali hapa. And this is I want to pick a question here, and then we can talk about it. We have there was a gentleman here who was asking about he bought a Premio. Where is that question? I'm looking for it. I'm looking for that question. Oh, she's saying, I bought a Toyota Premio 240 1800cc with a 1ZZ engine after your review. No regrets so far. Balance of power and fuel economy. Asante sana, but do we say? My question is, do I need to service the gearbox oil?
I'd say yes, and also no at the same time, because it depends. For most cars, they come with a lifetime gearbox and CVT oil. So for the 240, you know, you are the expert on that. Mambo ya gearbox.
240 ni gari mzee bwana.
Ni gari mzee. So we'd recommend a change at least your CVT. When you get your new vehicle, kuna zile basic checks and basic changes that you can do to ensure that you're starting on a clean slate with your vehicle.
Yeah.
We're talking things like checking the condition of the bushes, the bearings, so that you can have your alignment done. You can also check your tires. If they need replacement, you replace them. You also do a service. And when you're doing a service with a car that you've recently bought, we recommend you do a major service.
Yes.
So you change the oil filter, the air filter, have the spark plugs checked. Also for the gearbox, change the gearbox oil so that when you're starting with your car, you're starting with a clean slate, knowing that you've changed and done this and that on your car.
That is, Ian is very eloquent. Unajua kuna mtu anakujanga hapa anaanza kuchora saba.
Ni kujaribu.
Kuna watu tumewaona hapa, but thank you so much for being very eloquent on that. And now that we have gone that direction, I would like to ask, what are the things, some of the things that you have seen now that you guys have been in operation for close to a month now.
Yes.
And guys have been streaming in for service and all that.
Yes.
So what are some of the, because you guys go the extra mile to actually perform a diagnostics on the car, even if it's just coming for service.
Yes.
What are some of the things that you have discovered?
The number one rampant thing we've discovered is suspension issues. A lot of people are driving with suspension issues, be it worn out shocks, bearings, ball joints, thyroids. And surprisingly, when you ask the customer, have you been hearing a certain noise? Anakwambia hapana, then as long as the car cranks and it's moving from point A to point B, yeah, ako tu sawa. So suspension issues are the first one. And with that comes tire wear and drifting, like not drifting per se, misalignment issues. So you find the customer says, anyway, for me to go on a straight line, I have to put the steering at a certain angle. And they thought that was normal, especially for first-time car owners. Ama akifika 60 kilometers per hour, anasikia vibration, anasema pengine anadhani ni boost inaingia, kumbe hata gari ina turbo. So such issues are most rampant.
Yes.
And also on service, some people don't know how the condition of their oil should be. Wanapitisha service, 5,000 kilometers past service. Service is due, they've not changed their oil. They've not checked their coolant levels. And also you find just general care for the car is a bit of a concern. And especially brake pads. Brake pads imekuwa notorious sana, especially for cars with rear brake pads. You find the customers are driving, they hear a sound and they say, they just thought it's normal. When you remove the tire and check the condition of the brake pads, tunaitanga slippers. Imeisha ni chuma kwa chuma. And they say, oh, kumbe that is that sound I was hearing. So some customers really struggle with the day-to-day checks on their cars, and that's why they should come to us.
Okay.
Get a free inspection, a diagnosis. And on the diagnosis, people are walking around with a check engine. They think it's supposed to open the bonnet and just check.
Look at the engine there.
But you notice that some of them are walking around, muffler ilikatwa, akipeleka gari Grogon mahali. Not ati mechanic wa Grogon wanaiba muffler, but you understand the industry.
Yes.
So they come, we do the diagnostics and realize that the car had underlying issues.
Okay. And now that you have mentioned brake pads, first, is it true that there is an influx of counterfeit brake pads in the market today?
Definitely, there is. Even for, there is one particular brand, I will not mention it, but even when you go to buy it in the shops, they tell you there is quality A and quality B. And so you find some customers are being sold fake brake pads. Hata unaenda genuine, somebody tells you I have a genuine Toyota Prado J150 brake pad going for 2,000 shillings. Watu si wajinga bwana.
And you see, especially with the Prado, the Hilux, the Toyota Hiace, and
even the Land Cruiser has a lot of influx of
the Land Cruiser.
Yeah, the V8s.
In fact, most people who have a Hilux, unasikia wanakuambia hata CX5 sahi.
Yes.
Unasikia kila msee CX5 anasema yangu haishikangi brakes.
Yes. Alafu pia you know, the quality of the brake pads also puts the life of your brake disc at risk. And a brake disc is more expensive than a pad.
Yes.
So you'd rather invest on a genuine quality brake pad than replace the brake disc altogether.
Sawa. So at least we have had a few minutes with Ian, and Ian amewakaribisha sana Top King Service Center. And for those of you who will register for our live audience, entry is free. You will come and interact with him live and direct as you have your car checked for free. Sawa. So thank you so much, Ian, for your time.
Thank you so much.
Na kutukaribisha hapa bana kwa workshop. Najua masaa ya workshop imefungwa lakini
yeah, but as you said on 20th, come on.
Come on, sawa. Thank you so much. Joseph Nderi is telling you great information.
Thank you. Akuje 20th. We engage more.
Sawa. Thank you so much. So let me, as Tom now comes onto the stage to talk about a few things that we are working on, I'll proceed to answering a few questions. We have Willie Kavi, who is watching from Karen. We have Ken Build Project Management is saying, which makes more sense, buy cheap and build or buy stock and drive? It depends on where you're coming from, because building is not as easy as people perceive. Who else? Stephen Barungi is saying between a 2015 Toyota Yaris 1.5 of its petrol and 2015 Mazda Demio 1.5 petrol or manual stick shift, which one has better thrill? The Demio definitely has better thrill. Fantas Ngura is saying, hi CK, kindly advise Toyota East 4-wheel drive was changed to 2-wheel drive. Does this have any effect to the fuel consumption, and can I go for that car ama nifikirie kwanza? That is basically disconnecting the rear tires from the drive, and hiyo kitu venye inafanya basically yes, you will slightly reduce on fuel consumption because there is reduced traction, but remember you will still have the excessive weight. So now let's have Tom come on set and talk about a few things happening in the direct import industry.
Dancing with strangers, looking for love in all the right places. You've been running from life, but you cannot hide, baby. Let's just face it. Who can you love if you don't love yourself? And you feel like you don't matter. You feel like nobody understands the money that we got agenda. Baby, I'm right here when you need to roll one. I will pass you the lighter. My heart, baby, I'm right here. When you need to roll one, I will pass you the lighter. Even if it breaks my heart to be alone, so
Now we have Mr. Tom. Now, by the way, wacha niwaambie kitu. Mr. Tom last weekend ametupeleka huko mahali kunaitwa Kitui, tukakula nzoo. Alikuwa ametuita chadhe. Chadhe ni event, ni ceremony, ni sherehe. So it was very good being in Kitui County. Unajua tunapitianga tu tukitoka Mombasa. But it's good to actually get to experience the people of, na by the way, thank you so much. Nawasalimu sana watu wa Kitui, mafans wa Konnekt kutoka Kitui. We have so many clients from Kitui as well. Wanachukua magari huko sana. And now, Tom, let's start by, last week we brought in a vessel.
Yes.
And we shot a video on Monday. So maybe we can talk about the latest vehicle that we have. So guys, we have shipped in a CX-5 that is not your ordinary CX-5.
Yes.
Lakini mtaiona Monday kwa video. You will have the chance to watch the video live and direct. So, but Tom, tell these guys what is special about that CX-5 and how was the import process of the vehicle?
First off, it's a 2021. It's a petrol engine. It has a bit of modification. And na iko na only 18,000 kilometers on the odometer.
Genuine mileage.
Genuine mileage, grade 4.5. Yes, we saw it and we grabbed it.
Mbio, haraka pasta.
And before it got here, ikapata client. So it's a good unit. Imefanywa some modification. Mtaziona tu. From the video.
And now that we have brought about the aspect of modifications, last week somebody asked, persons with disabilities, can they get vehicles modified from Japan? And one of the things I told them is, you see the zile spatios zinakuanga na nundu.
Yes. Even the, what do we call it? The Sientas.
Yes.
Zenye ziko na nundu zinakuanga na ramp hapo nyuma. Yes.
So if one is importing with us, you know, most of the time when you're talking about persons with disability, we talk about tax exemption.
Yes.
But can we talk about today, let's talk about the cars that they can get that have been pre-modified, especially for those who have physical disabilities and will need to move around with a wheelchair.
Those cars are already there. You just have to look for them. Like that, the CX-5 has a chair that can be retrieved. It has a remote. The passenger chair, seat that is, can be retrieved. Inachukua a person with a disability, then inapanda kwa gari.
Kwa gari.
Yes.
Nice.
So we can get you those cars. Yes.
And you know, ni vizuri kueleza watu hizi vitu because you find that most persons with disabilities will actually bring in cars that do not really assist them.
Yes.
Because wataleta tu gari, watakuwa tax exempted, lakini you'll find that there'll always be the struggle of getting into the car.
Yeah.
Yet there are cars that can have that done automatically. They're automated to do that.
Yeah, you can get any car. Hata Prados kuna zingine zinapanga na the same seat setup.
Yes.
Any car basically yenye itakusuit. So you just come, you explain to us what kind of modification you want, and we'll facilitate that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Sasa Karota Uganda leo amesema amechelewa.
Yeah.
He's a good friend from Sevoland. But sasa hapa kuna swali ingine.
Yes.
Ya Multiverse Talk anasema Ton, bado unaweza tuletea Mazda Atenza ama tumechelewa na hiyo CRSP. And I even wanted you to talk about that CRSP and where we are at this time.
Some months ago, 2 months ago I think, hiyo time ililetwa. I told guys, this is the right time.
Leteni magari.
Leteni magari. And I'll still tell you, it's the right time. When kuna hizo court wrangles.
Back and forth.
Back and forth. Ile time watasema, we are going to implement it. They will have to give us more time.
Yes.
That is given. So watu wa Atenza, CX5, hizo zimepanda duty. This is the right time. The right time. And actually from that time, we imported so many Mazdas. We have around 3 CX8s.
Yes, and
so many
Axela. Pia tumeleta those Suzukis. Na by the Suzuki they were likely to kupanda pia.
Yes, the Suzuki zilikuwa zinapanda.
And we have managed to bring in two.
Yes.
So by the way, if you're importing this is the right time.
This is the right time.
Even Volvos,
this is the right time, by the way.
Twango wa sawa. So yeah. I think any other question on direct importation for Tom? As I answer one, if you have a question on direct importation, you have around 2 minutes, because today we want to finish at 9 on the dot. Nakumbuka, as you ask any question on direct importation, next Wednesday we are filming live. Unaweza kuja ukue part of the live audience. Link iko hapo juu. So you just have to click it, register. 4.0 is happening this weekend. Kujeni tucheze na matope. Tumewakaribisha tena tukule nzoo na mkuje season ya maembe, tutafurahia.
Sawa, tutakuja.
Point noted.
Yes.
Maembe by then ya lini kitu?
Kuanzia deck.
Kwanza December.
Yes, uliona how the flowers are.
Niliona maua huko.
So kuanzia December. Yeah, they'll be ready.
Sawa.
Yeah.
Jilid Well Mindset is saying, sorry for my lateness, but please kindly advise me on Nissan Elgrand. My wife really wants me to buy it, and I fear fuel economy and maintenance. Reliability, please. One thing about the Elgrand is that it has bad fuel economy. That is one thing I always tell guys. Elgrand fuel economy apana, but it is very, 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 it's extremely comfortable. No much problem with reliability, but fuel economy is a bit on a downside. Josenderi anauliza, Tom, bado na
inakuja. This is one of our class.
Josenderi. Josenderi gari yake inakuja ni gani?
Josenderi siko sure ni gari gani.
But unajua sasa hapa wanatumianga majina zingine.
Na aliuliza last time.
Aliuliza bado?
Aliuliza bado.
Hii hata testimonial.
Lazima.
Josenderi lazima client testimonial is a must.
Yes, for the live recording, I promised 5 goodies. Yes. When utajua vile tutazipeana.
Haina shida. Unajua Tom amesema akiwekelea Biblia chini next weekend. next Wednesday.
Yes.
Hoodie ni 5.
Hoodie ni 5.
Sijui kama Chris wa Top King anapeana t-shirts za Top King wakiwa na Ian. Mnapeana vitu mingi Sawa. So umesikia next week Wednesday wenye watakuja, the first 30 to register, mtafurahia sana, and we are going to have an amazing time here at Top King Service Center. So from the team here, we would like to wish you a good night and prosperous week ahead. Also remember we offer services such as pre-purchase inspection, consultation, direct importation na local sourcing. Na watu wa hybrid, kumbukeni kuna warranty ya 1 year 4 months. Sawa sawa. If you need to contact us, there is a number on the channel and also on the screen. It's 0710 844 863. Na ukipiga hiyo namba utapata sauti yenye si yangu, lakini si sauti mbaya. Na atakusaidia. Ama they link you up with us. And so from Kiambu Road, from the Ndigwa along Kiambu Road, it's goodbye and see you next Wednesday for the live audience, live recording.
Looking for love in all the right places. You've been running from life.